Hey you guys, it's been a while. So today's video I'm actually going to share with you what my youngest kindergarten album has been looking like. I'm actually up to date, which I am super excited because June is around the corner and then she finishes kindergarten. So if you had checked out my previous video where I shared how I was going to document, then you would have seen like the beginning, but I actually didn't speak there, so I'm going to do a little bit of that here. One of the things that I do love to do is, since this is a kindergarten album and it's going to go through a lot of hands and years and whatnot, I made sure that I went to persnickety. I have mentioned them on my blog, I mentioned them on my Instagram, where we go, you know that I love them for printing my pictures because of the quality and how much they last. I also do print at home, but for Izzy's albums, the majority of pictures I have sent over to persnickety because I love the quality. Just as I do with my Project Life, I use three kits, more or less. Studio Calico's documenting kit, Allie's kit that she has available, and sometimes you'll see a little bit of splatter of some L Studio, and I think Coco Daisy I used in this album. But as you can see, when you're doing a school album, you don't necessarily have to do like Project Life, that you're doing each detail, because you're concentrating on one kid and what their milestones have been throughout the school year. So since this is kindergarten, I needed to emphasize, especially for September, you know, her first ride on the bus with her big sister, her uniforms, and the information of what the school day was going to be. Here, let's see if I can see it. Can you see it over there? Let me see. Let me move it over. So for the back page, I just wanted to include first homeworks, first drawing. This was like throughout the first week of school. And I just did a little bit of filler cards as well, because again, this is kindergarten and it's not a daily thing. And since I'm not there every day, I just wanted to make sure that at least each month I had something to document for her. So this is what September looked like. September, of course, is a full month where they're getting to know their classmates. Izzy was at pre-K, so she also knew some of her classmates, but some of them are new friends, and she got recognition. And these little hearts, you'll see them also scattered around. This is from one of Allie's kits. It's like a little notepad, and I loved it because, you know, how when kids are learning how to read, they usually look at shapes, and then, you know, they can emphasize that this is all about love. And there you go, that's what was my motivation. So see, look, there goes another little heart. Again, this is still September, and then here we went into October. Also, a good note that I have learned is perhaps maybe your school has a website that they upload. Our school actually has an IG, so some pictures I was able to capture that were posted on their IG, and that's how I got this picture, and then this one as well. But again, look, if you send them to persnickety, it looks like you took the picture yourself, but I wasn't there, so. But the quality, again, is amazing. Since I have multiple monthly kits, I usually get a monthly card, so the extras usually go in here. This is the October one. October, again, was a big month for kindergartners. My daughters, they go to Catholic school, and November 1st is All Saints Day, but since November 1st was a Saturday, I believe, and Halloween was on being a Friday, they don't do the Halloween, they did an All Saints. And so my daughter, she dressed up as her favorite saint, which is Little Flower. So I made to emphasize you know, about this story. And her kindergarten teacher has actually been my 16-year-old son's kindergarten teacher, and my 12-year-old, and now she's her kindergarten teacher. So it's like a full circle. So we love Miss O'Hare. Also, make sure you write stories of, you know, of the teacher in your albums and what they have meant to your child. Here I included, this is a napkin from their Thanksgiving party that they had, the feast that they had. I'm trying to see if I can scoot so you guys can see, because my setup is not the best, but I'm trying it. So here we are, we're December. I made my own little card. I think, well, because December daily and all the fun. So yeah, so again, IG picture. Make sure that's always use whatever resources you can to capture your kids' schooling, like especially when they get older. For high school, it's a little harder. Ask me how I know. I have to actually rely on my 16-year-old to send me some pictures, but he's actually really good because he was in drama and he has a lot of things. So I also have an album for him, and I will share that one as well, so you can see how it can differentiate. I can't talk. How you can separate theirs. Here is more December. They had a concert, and the concert that she had was the same day as my 16-year-old. So there is a story. I also put stories inside here in the pockets when I want to document more. And this was the start of the new year. Here's where she's actually getting more into reading. So you'll see more books. And they celebrate Dr. Seuss. I was actually there, so I was able to take pictures. And again, filler cards. Don't be afraid to use filler cards for sentiments. Remember, this is just so they can see what their school year looked like. This February was an awesome month because they had the father-daughter dance, and I was the photographer, so I was able to get pictures. I have like a whole bunch of pictures in this one pocket. If you hear scruffling, that's just my husband who is coming home. So yeah, so this is a little Valentine's Day goodie that their teacher had given them. I also saved like thank you cards and whatnot, because sometimes, well, her teacher sends them back, so I make sure to put it in there. Little memorabilia of the dance. And here we have March. I can't believe March is just documented and in the books. So this was another day that was really fun, which was pajama day, where the kids come in the evening and they come in their pajamas and they do a little craft and they have a blast. There's like everything going on in the background today. There's a phone, there's my husband with his bags. But anyway, moving along, real life. So this is what March looked like. Again, as you can see, 1 month doesn't have to have multiple page protectors. With one is more than enough, as long as you're telling the story and what they did. Now, March was another big month for her, and so I did make sure to document and write down what she was doing, which was they celebrated 100 days of school. She was a little leprechaun, and they had the pajama party. And here she is in April. She was in full swing. She is a reader, y'all. It is so fun. I actually got a funny text from my 12-year-old this morning saying, "Mom, Izzy is reading my messages when I am on my phone." So yeah, that was pretty cute. So I probably am going to include that little text in here because it's so funny to see that she can read, and I'm in awe. So anyway, so these are the they had for Easter. They all were little bunnies, as you can see, and I was in the classroom, and so I got to see them as little bunnies, and then they just were scattered around. Let's see, did I put you in there? There we go. So yeah. Now, in the back of the album, I still have June and May to document, but I wanted to show you. In the back of the album is where I had kept the little bits of, drawings. Of course, do not go crazy. My one tip that I've learned over the years is the best thing, you can't keep every little thing that they send home. Even though you want to, just really, really special ones like this one. Since it was Christmas, and she was really proud about this, and she was telling me stories about how she painted, and her shirts came home in blue and green, and I was like, what is going on? So so that's why I kept this picture in here. Our teacher, she sends weekly newsletters, so I've kept a few of them here when they were like special events. This is one of those first notes that she wrote in her handwriting, so of course I put it in there. There's a couple extra in there as well. Another really special one that she wanted me to put in there for Valentine's Day. And this I actually got this week, and it's going to be part of I cannot see that. I'm sorry, my hair's in the way. The life cycle of a butterfly and of a tadpole, I believe. Is it bullfrog? One of the two. So yeah, so I kept these in here because she's singing these songs in her graduation, as I've been told. So I wanted to keep this, and I will document later on a little story once I hear the song and the graduation. She also got certificates, and there's a whole album in there of like for Christmas, I believe it was. Yeah, it was a Christmas book that she made, and letters as well. And again, this the first newsletter of the school year. And little trinkets, whatever. But just make sure, just keep the most important things in the album. Then make sure to write what they're for. This actually, this little cap is from her pre-K graduation. Sadly, when we moved, her album, her pre-K album, because I also had made one, got destroyed. I don't know how. So I reprinted some pictures, and I am working on her pre-K album. I have a few of the things, but you know, this is the pictures. But more or less, this is what kindergarten has looked like for my girl. I have a few more pictures to print. I also need to go and make sure that I get the school year picture. I was like iffy if I should get it because she looks so hilarious, and I had taken more pictures of her on the first day, but since that is her first school picture, I will do that, and that will be like the front picture I put in this album. But I hope this has helped you and inspired you perhaps to document your kids' school year. You don't have to say, oh my gosh, my kid is already a senior in college or whatever. Just grab, you know, memorabilia that you have and make a little album for them, because I'm pretty sure they will appreciate that you took the time to tell, you know, the stories that you remember, and hopefully they will remember too. So till next time, thanks for stopping by.